Another deadly shooting rocks an American community, this time in Richmond, Virginia. More on the chaotic scene at a high school graduation ceremony. And we look back at the life and legacy of a pillar of Madison's Latino community, Juan Jose Lopez, who died yesterday. This is News 3 Now at noon. Good afternoon, I'm Mark Kane. Thanks for joining us. New at noon, police are investigating after multiple people reported being hit with pellets from an airsoft gun in downtown Madison. Officers were first called to King and Wilson Street around 9:15 Monday night. A man said he was hit in the head and shoulder but was not hurt. About an hour later, another person reported being hit by pellets near Wisconsin Avenue and West Gilman Street. Police haven't found any suspects. Anyone with information has to call Crime Stoppers at 608-266-6014. A longtime leader of Madison's Latino community has died. Juan Jose Lopez was the first Latino ever to serve on the Madison Metropolitan School District's board. He served 12 years before leaving the position in 2006. Lopez also served on boards for United Migrant Opportunity Services in Milwaukee, the Nuestro Mundo School in Madison, One City Schools, as well as the Rotary Foundation and Latino Chamber of Commerce. Lopez was just 64 years old. Funeral services have not yet been announced. Let's head over to the Weather Center, where meteorologist Jacob Montesano has a first warn forecast. Very refreshing out there today.
Yeah, temperatures and conditions are just about perfect right now, and that will continue throughout much of the day. Here's a look outside. Very nice weather, although still a little bit of wildfire smoke in the air, but there isn't any air quality alerts, at least not right now. Now, 73 right now in Madison with very sunny skies and temperatures across our area very comfortable. Upper 60s and lower 70s. Some locations are even in the mid 70s. Much of our area will likely stay in the 70s throughout the afternoon, but we could see a few places get into the lower 80s. Looking at the high resolution radar, very dry across Wisconsin. There are a few showers to the south and west of us near Iowa, but for the most part, we're going to remain dry, not just for today, but over the next couple of days. This afternoon is going to be in the mid 70s with mostly sunny skies. Definitely enjoy the weather, and the nice weather will continue through the evening. Although if you have plans after sunset, definitely bring a jacket along because it will get a little cool by around 10 p.m. Now, overnight, it actually is going to get pretty cool, especially by the morning hours. We'll see lows dropping into the mid 40s, and it is possible that some locations, especially in the northern part of our viewing area, could get into the upper 30s. So it will be a pretty unseasonably cool night, but those temperatures are going to rise right back into the 70s tomorrow. I'll have more details on that and talk about our next chance of rain all coming up a little bit later in the show.
All right, Jacob, we'll see you then. Thank you. Police are still investigating a motive behind a shooting after a high school graduation ceremony in Virginia. Nicole Skanga has the latest.
A possible active shooter. Several people shot, a couple of maydays.
Chaos erupted as shots were fired in Monroe Park Tuesday afternoon.
We have multiple reports of shootings in Monroe Park.
The area was filled with families celebrating Huguenot High School graduates.
With all graduates of the class of 2023, please stand together.
Who left from the Altria Theater directly across the street just moments earlier.
This is their graduation day. The question that comes in my mind right now is nothing sacred any longer?
It is probably the worst thing that I've seen in my life.
Keisha Allen was looking for her goddaughter who had just graduated when the shooting started.
It was just total chaos. There were books for the diplomas all over the ground. There were caps all over the ground. There were shoes and glasses and pocketbooks.
Allen said she saw students among the people injured.
There were two of them on the ground in their gowns still shot.
The police chief did not release a motive, but said he believes the suspect knew at least one of the victims.
It's disgusting and cowardly behavior. When you have a crowd like this, innocent people are going to be caught up in the mayhem, and that's what happened today.
Police say a 31-year-old gunshot victim is in the hospital with life-threatening injuries. A 9-year-old girl was also hit by a car during the incident, but she's expected to be okay. Well, the field of contenders for the 2024 Republican presidential nominee is growing by the day. Former Vice President Mike Pence will officially announce his run this afternoon. He joins the already crowded field of Republican hopefuls. Former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie is also formally in the race, but former President Trump has a sizable edge in just about every early poll, including in New Hampshire, where voters are already gearing up for the first GOP primary next February. North Dakota's Governor Doug Burgum also officially announced his campaign today. Pope Francis is undergoing his second abdominal surgery in 2 years, a day after he went to the hospital in Rome for a checkup. The Vatican says the 86-year-old pontiff was put under general anesthesia for a hernia repair and is expected to be hospitalized for several days. The operation comes 2 years after his last abdominal surgery, when doctors removed part of his colon because of diverticulitis. The Pope recently revealed the painful bowel condition had come back.
Remains to be seen how quickly he, as a man of 86 years, with some other health issues, can fully recover.
Pope Francis has a busy summer ahead, with the Vatican recently confirming that he'll make a 4-day visit to Portugal for World Youth Day, followed by a long trip to Mongolia. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. A baby pillow recall to warn parents about. That story is coming up in the Money Watch report.
You're watching News 3 Now at noon.
Drug maker Merck is suing the federal government over its plan to allow Medicare to negotiate prices for a handful of drugs. In the lawsuit, Merck called the plan, which is part of the 2022 Inflation Reduction Act, extortion and a sham. Some patient advocacy groups have slammed the lawsuit, and the Secretary of Health and Human Services responded, saying, quote, "The law is on our side." Federal regulators say a once popular baby pillow that was taken off the market 2 years ago is now linked to at least 10 infant deaths in the U.S. Boppy's newborn lounger was originally recalled in 2021 after 8 deaths were reported with its use due to risk of suffocation. The company and the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission are urging caregivers to stop using the pillow, and they're asking online marketplaces to crack down on attempts to resell secondhand pillows on their websites. And Apple is using AI to solve its autocorrect problem. The new software is said to learn your habits, fixing words that you frequently misspell, but leaving words alone that you intentionally typed, even the salty ones. The upgraded iOS 17 is scheduled for this fall. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Chanel Call.
Checking Wall Street at the noon hour, the Dow Industrial's up 78 points. The NASDAQ, though, down 105. The S&P 500 down 13. Our Call for Action volunteers are in the building taking your consumer complaints and taking action on your behalf. Volunteers are here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so you can call for action right now at 608-270-2833 or submit a claim anytime at channel3000.com/call for action. Next at noon, Pam has today's egg prices, and Jacob is back with the latest forecast. And then today on Live at 4, we'll tell you everything you need to know for this weekend's Susan G. Komen's More Than Pink Walk.
The Farm Report is sponsored by Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Let's check in with Pam Yankee from the Midwest Farm Report on this cooler day. Feeling pretty good out there.
Coolers for sure. And I missed you yesterday in part because we were out in the field, literally, media day for Wisconsin Farm Technology Days, and we were up at the Badger Steam and Gas Engine Club grounds between Wisconsin Dells and Baraboo out in the Reedsburg area. This is going to be what we call a neutral site for Wisconsin Farm Technology Days 2023, July 18th through the 20th. One of the elements that they were telling us about is when you come out to Wisconsin Farm Technology Days, you're going to have somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 food trucks that are going to be providing food. Normally at Farm Tech Days, we always have big tents where people can gather and kind of get the same menu over and over again. Changing it up this year. There is no host farm that's attached to it this year's Farm Technology Days since it's at the Badger Steam and Gas Engine Club grounds. So we decided to go visit one of the cooperating dairies, Narrows Dairy. That's Ken Nolden sitting there along with his son Matt. They are going to be inviting busloads of folks to come by and learn more about their robotic milkers that they use. They've been doing that for more than a decade. The father-son team are milking about 100 142 cows with the robots right now. So they've got a story to tell. Really nice to get a chance to visit with them. So Wisconsin Farm Technology Days being held at the Badger Steam Gas Engine Club Grounds, July 18th through the 20th, this year only. Then in 2024, they'll be up in Chippewa County. 2025, returning to Waupaca County, where a third-generation family will host the show for a third time. So a lot of stories that are developing there. But like I said, looking forward to Badger Steam and Gas Engine as the focal point of gathering for Farm Technology Days. Well, we want to congratulate Wisconsin native Jim Mulhern. Yesterday, he announced that at the end of this calendar year, he is going to retire as president and CEO of the National Milk Producers Federation. Jim has been involved in the dairy industry more than 45 years in different ways, dairy policy, communications, and he's been a leader of the National Milk Producers Federation for a decade. Jim Mulhern retiring at the end of this calendar year. Keeping an eye on weather. I'll have details for you later this week. The University Extension staff across Wisconsin are holding a statewide drought conversation with farmers. Anybody that wants to listen in, Friday from 9 until 10. I'll get you the details tomorrow. Barrel cheese up 8.5 today at $1.65 1/4. 40-pound block cheese up 6 1/4 at $1.52 1/4. Double A butter down $1.75 today, $2.36 a pound. So yeah, that. Despite the fact that it rained on our media event yesterday for a little bit, the state is still obviously very aware and concerned about the element of drought and what farmers have to try to decide to do today to hold on to their crop. So like I said, Mark, I'll get you details on that Friday conversation as soon as I can get you tomorrow.
Yeah, ironic you were rained on a little bit yesterday.
I know. I said, everybody put your wash out on the line, wash your car, cut hay, anything to try to get a dribble of rain.
Absolutely. Well, let's see if there's anything in the forecast, Pam. Thank you. Okay. Jacob is here with that forecast.
Yeah, we are going to see rain eventually, but it is going to remain dry over the next couple of days. It's also going to remain a little bit hazy until Thursday. It does look like it will be a little bit better for the weekend, but that dry weather will be through Friday. But then we do have a chance for some showers and storms over the weekend. But before that, it's going to be very nice. Despite the drought condition-wise, it's going to be beautiful with mid-70s in the forecast, both this afternoon and tomorrow. Now, the overnight hours, both tonight and tomorrow night, are going to be a bit chilly. Lows tonight will drop into the mid-40s, and it is possible that some of those northern counties could even see lows getting into the upper 30s. Now, we're definitely going to stay above freezing, but definitely pretty unseasonably cool for this time of the year. But temperatures are going to rise right back up into the mid-70s for tomorrow. For the most part, we will see a lot of sunshine, a few more clouds, I should say, for the western counties, but still pretty much very, very dry with beautiful weather. Now, it will be a bit warmer for Friday as temperatures reach the lower 80s, but still pretty comfortable. You know, not going to see temperatures terribly hot, and we also are going to remain dry with partly sunny skies. Now, here's a look at future track. We are going to see that rain move into our area eventually, but as I mentioned, for tomorrow, we'll see a northeasterly wind with mostly dry conditions, and that will continue for Friday as well. Friday, we may see a few more clouds, but otherwise, we are going to remain dry. Saturday afternoon is when we'll start to see some showers and storms develop, and this could continue throughout the night and into Sunday as well. Now, rain could be heavy, but there is still a pretty big discrepancy between the two main miles, that being the GFS and Euro. So as far as rain totals go, it's still a bit unclear. But as far as the chance of rain, especially Saturday afternoon and Saturday night, and then into Sunday, we will likely see some rain as well. But by Monday morning, it looks like a lot of that rain will have cleared out of our area. But there is another chance of rain a little bit later next week. But because of the rain, temperatures are going to be a bit all over the place, especially for the weekend. Highs will rise into the mid-80s for Saturday, but then drop down to around 70 degrees for Sunday. But they are going to rebound and get into the upper 80s, possibly even close to 90 by the middle and end of next week. But like I mentioned, we are going to see that chance of rain towards the middle and end of next week as well, with a few showers and storms possible Wednesday afternoon. A greater chance of rain will likely occur next Thursday and Friday. So hopefully we do get a good amount of rain on Saturday. There is that pretty big discrepancy between the two models. So hopefully the model that is suggesting we do get a lot of rain, which is the one I showed, will come true, because we definitely need that rain. It kind of is starting to feel a bit dry. Now, despite the dry conditions, Like I mentioned, the next couple of days are going to be very nice with 70s and sunshine. So definitely get out and enjoy the weather before the rain comes over the weekend. And although the temperatures are going to drop quite significantly for Sunday, they're still going to be right around 70 degrees, so they're not going to be too cold. You know, we're at the time of year where it's kind of hard to see afternoon high temperatures anything colder than 70. And when it gets to at least 70 degrees, you know, it's not too bad. But maybe even might need a light jacket for Sunday if it does indeed continue to rain. So
all right,
we'll have to keep an eye on that.
Fingers crossed. All right, Jacob, thank you. Up next, Howard's in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. He has a fish recipe that's easy and quick.
I know I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Fish is the ultimate fast food. And when I say fast food, I'm not talking about the stuff you pick up at the drive-thru. I'm talking about foods that cook really fast. So let me share with you a fresh-tasting skillet dish I think you'll love. To give this a bright, sunny taste, we start by combining some lemon juice, olive oil, chopped shallots, a bit of salt and pepper, and a spoonful of capers. And if you're not familiar with capers, they're actually little flower buds. When they're picked, they're extremely bitter, but when pickled, they mellow and add just the right amount of wow to practically any dish. Okay, now we pan fry some fresh cod or haddock that we've seasoned with a bit of salt and pepper. This takes about 4 minutes aside. Once the fish flakes easily, we spoon the lemon mixture over it, along with some chopped chives. There you go, a protein-packed main dish that's on the table in less than 15 minutes. And as for the taste, the sauce adds a breath of sunshine thanks to the combination of the lemon juice and the capers. To get the recipe for our lemon caper fish fillets, all you have to do is head to our website. If only all meals could be this simple. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a super fast way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
And next to do more food, Angie Horkin from the Wisconsin Beef Council shares some steak recipes perfect for celebrating Dad this upcoming Father's Day. Stay with us. Angie Horkin from the Wisconsin Beef Council is here. It's summer, it's grilling time. Dad's Day is coming up.
It's coming up. I've got steaks. We talked burgers last month. May is National Burger Month, so we better talk steaks this month, right?
For Father's Day?
Exactly, yeah.
So what do you have?
Got some of Dad's favorites. I've got, well, my recipe calls for T-bones, but I got porterhouses for
even better.
us. Even better. But we're going to start with fillets. So I've got some little tenderloin fillets. They're not very thick. They're only like 1 inch thick, but then they're butterflied and they're choice. I wrapped them with a little butcher's twine just to keep their shape, but I grilled these just with a little salt and pepper. And then we have a recipe for a blue cheese topping.
Oh,
so crumbled blue cheese, a little bit of plain yogurt, and a little bit of cream cheese, kind of to make it more of a sauce versus just a crumbly. And then a little minced onion, and then some ground white pepper, or I didn't even splurge on white pepper. I just used black pepper. You can see it, but it's okay. But yeah, so if you like blue cheese, it's a super easy topping. I do too.
A little asparagus on the grill.
So we're gonna go heavy then on the blue cheese. But yeah, make this topping up ahead, pop it in the fridge, and just keep it. And of course, you know, you don't have to use that on fillets. You can use it on any steak.
Sure, all right.
So, second recipe, I have kind of a homemade barbecue sauce. I started just with a nice steak sauce, and then added in garlic, cumin, and chili powder. And then that's it. And then this is and then I rub that on the steaks kind of as I grill them, but I start them out about 5 minutes before I add the sauce, because with the steak sauce, it could flare up. There's probably some sugar in that.
And the difference between a T-bone and a porterhouse is the size of the fillet.
Yeah, so your porterhouse T-bone steaks are 2 steaks in one. So you got your strip steak or your top loin on the larger side, and then that smaller side is the tenderloin. So if it's wider than 1.25 inches, it's technically a porterhouse.
So they can charge a little more.
They can charge a little more. So when so if you see me at the grocery store looking for T-bones, I'm digging through the whole case, right? That's my secret.
Okay, grill up a little corn.
So grill some corn with it. We got the recipe for that on the website if you like. Grill it in the husks, pull the silks out first. Now I took this barbecue sauce or steak sauce and I added butter. to it and then melted the butter and heated it up on the grill. So it's more like a chili flavored butter.
Oh.
And then that goes on the corn.
It complements it well?
Yeah, so kind of fun.
Something different.
A little spicy, a little different, but not very hard to do, not many ingredients. So if you're cooking for Dad, you want to grill him a nice meal, go to beeftips.com, click right on As Seen on TV. We've got these recipes, plus some other ones I thought were perfect steak recipes for Father's Day. Absolutely. And of course, any grilling tips, you know, your thermometer tips, your temperatures, it's all right there too. So head to the website.
A long grilling season coming up.
I feel like it's gonna be. It's gonna be good.
All right, thanks, Ange.
You're welcome.
Let's go back into the studio, Jacob. There's one final check of the forecast.
The next few days will be just about perfect grill weather as temperatures will reach the mid-70s along with mostly sunny skies, and then they will warm up a bit for Friday with highs in the lower 80s, and then we do have the chance of some storms over the weekend, especially Saturday afternoon and night, and those showers will likely linger until at least Sunday morning, and the temperatures will also drop quite a bit with highs only around 70 degrees for Sunday. Next week, the temperatures will slowly warm up, and then for the middle and end of the week, we do have another chance of rain, especially Thursday and Friday.
All right, thank you, Jacob. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you back here at 4 o'clock. In the meantime, have a great afternoon.
Get more local news now with Channel 3000 Plus, our free digital streaming service, bringing you area news and info from the News 3 Now team. Download it today.